Oh, I'm so rank.
Let's smell it.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh God, what does that take you back to?
Regret.
The old days, that's what... Oh, I've just got like a little shoot of like being at the bar, like at the waterfront.
I was then gonna say at the waterfront
And like
having to stand on the bar to get to the bar.
the little pole thing, like hello, please. Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm joined with Nicoletta. You might remember from old school Helen videos. I had this idea. It's corny as fuck, but like I just wanted to have a discussion with Nicoletta, who is probably the most tattooed person I know, about like some lol subjects when it comes to it. I mean, I'm not. I mean, like I've got a sleeve and I've got some on my legs, and I know that there are a lot more tattooed people out there than myself. But when you're so accustomed to something, you don't really think about it anymore.
Oh, no.
And so we're just kind of used to it.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first got your first tattoo?
Ooh, I don't know if I should admit this.
Oh, don't matter, do it.
15.
15.
15.
Cool.
Obviously.
And what was it?
One at the top of my back. The
What? That one, the star. Okay.
Yeah.
She's got a little star on the back here. Mine was my tramp stamp, and I was 17.
Go on.
Woo! My mum killed me for that. I went into her work when she was working. Look what I just did!
I convinced mine that it was completely legal.
What, your tattoo artist?
Yes, of course. No, my mum.
Your mum? Oh.
Yeah, it's totally legal. Where did you go from there?
I don't know.
Was that like, did you have one and then stop?
I thought I was the coolest person ever. I got a tattoo! All the boys will fancy me now.
Yeah.
No,
you're edgy.
I waited a year and I got one on my birthday when I was 18, so I was actually old enough to get one. It was just, it was my melons on my feet.
How cute.
Alright, but I probably would, now I would not have that. I'd have something like actually symmetrical on each foot.
You wouldn't have
What do you mean?
melons on your feet?
No, I would not have melons on my feet. I would have a melon cherry blossom, and I wouldn't have a melon fucking cupcake either. I'd have something like that was, you know, compliment. Like I'd have something that was. Where did it go? You then went and worked at a tattoo parlour, didn't you? And like got absolutely covered.
And then you come out into the real world. So like then obviously it started at 50, and then I lied about my age to go work into a tattoo studio. And then it continued, and then I continued to get tattooed. And then like I come out into the real world, and I was like, not everybody is tattooed. So, you know, and I think if going back in Norwich, even, I mean, I don't want to admit my age now, but even 10 years ago, there wasn't as many heavily tattooed people in Norwich. So I was quite, I wasn't quite rare, but it was rare for Norwich to have a girl walking around with a sleeve and her legs heavily
Yeah, I remember
tattooed.
before we were friends, I was like, oh my god, fuck, she's cool. And I'm so not.
Bed by 9, yeah, pretty cool.
I mean, like, you are cool, but you're pretty uncool, but that's what makes you cool. You know, like how people just have these stereotypes.
Yeah.
And you're completely not.
I think that's it. I think like leading on to like cringy moments is like all the crap you get from people presuming you're a certain way.
Yeah, I feel like the one that I've had the most is when you go on a night out and you go to, say, like a bar that you don't normally go to.
I'm already feeling for you.
And you're like, I've literally had guys say to me, oh, you must be really kinky.
Yeah, I've had that. You must be so dirty. What kind of stuff are you into? And it's like, missionary all the way, actually.
Pyjamas and slippers by 9 PM with a nice hot chocolate and Coronation Street on the TV, actually.
Oh, God, yeah.
One thing that I find frustrating as hell is people assume that you don't mind being touched by them.
Do you know the weirdest thing is this happened to me only recently. So it's happened, I think I don't go out as much as I used to. So you kind of forget. And then when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, this shit. I had a man bend down. So you're standing at a bar.
I'm standing at a bar.
Oh, that's my stomach.
Hello, I'm buying a vodka and Coke.
I'm quite good. Okay, we'll do it down here. And this guy suddenly appears at my legs and is touching. What? I was just like, what the fuck?
What did you do?
I just went, excuse me. He was like, oh, I just, you know, I was just trying to get a closer look. I'm like, you can see from standing. And luckily I was with Holly, and she was like,
Oh, she's like, oh no!
It's this as well. It's
just a general like, I went to the pub once, only for 3 days because it's the worst 3 days of my life. And I had guys leaning across the bar to grab my arm. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, stop. That's one of the reasons why I quit, because I was like, this is not what I like. I get it. Like, some people just think that because you've done it to your body and you've let people like put art on you, therefore you're available to just pull around to look at. I'm just like, what you fucking doing?
But I think it's that classic thing where it's like, look with your eyes, isn't it? You know, like when you're a kid and you're growing up and your parents are like, don't touch anything, look with your eyes, not your hands. And I think it's that, isn't it? It's but I've had people and they're like, oh, I thought it would feel different. And you're like, what are you doing? It's my skin. It feels no different. It also doesn't mean that you can happily
just
rub
like
it.
pull me around.
That's still my personal space.
One of the frustrating parts is like, I feel like a lot of the questions that I get are like, I'm thinking of getting this done, I don't know if it's a good idea. And I'm like, I can't tell you the answer to that.
No, you can't. You can't be like, yeah, that's really good, or no, that. Imagine saying to someone, you know, oh, I don't think that's a very good idea. And then it's got some sort of like deep, meaningful thing, and they're like heartbroken. I guess.
Yeah. The only piece of advice that I feel like is the most valid piece of advice I'd give someone is find the artist first.
Yeah, find someone who you like their work.
Yeah.
And then think about it and take your stuff to them.
Yeah. Or like if you have an idea for something that you like, you need to find an artist that can do that, rather than asking an artist that does a bit of everything to do. I seek out the artist that does the style that I want.
That you want. Yeah.
And no matter how far it takes, or how long it takes to book in with them, or how much it's going to cost.
There are things that, yes, I would not have done now if I were given the opportunity. But it's like me, every single thing is a part of my history. So I don't regret any of them. Like when I showed you the first one, I'm like, yeah. But that's you, though, isn't it? Like that's my story. It's just my history. It's my story.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm the same. Like, there's a few placements of things I probably wouldn't have, and like the ones on my feet, like I said, I probably wouldn't have them. I probably wouldn't have my tramp stamp either.
No.
But I'm not even that bothered by it. I don't really give a shit. Like, I probably wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
But I don't care enough to not have it.
No.
Like,
no.
You know. And also, I think one thing that pardon me, I'm sorry. It's the Jack Daniels. When I get asked like, do you have any regrets? I think like once you get, this is also ties in with the question of should I get this done. I feel like once you've had it on your skin for a while, you just get used to it. Like I told someone the other day, I forget that I have a sleeve.
Yeah.
Because I forget that that's a tattooed arm. Yeah. I'm like, that's just my arm.
It's just your arm.
You get so used to it being on your body that you don't actually think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I just see everything that's on me and I see that as my body.
Here's one. I only notice like I'm tattooed, and I know that sounds ridiculous considering how much I am. Only when someone either points it out, or if I'm around a fellow heavily tattooed person, I'm like, oh, I have those too. Oh, friends never point it out, or you know, I'm never like, oh, I've got a butterfly on there. It's nice. I'm thinking I have a butterfly.
No. She's got a snake wrapped around her, and it has an apple, and it goes on her bum.
Yes, it does. I've had moments where, especially with Adam, so we'll be out, and because he looks actually more tattooed than I am, just because he's got two solid arms, he looks more tattooed, and people have said to me, did he do this to you? Did he? I've had people
Has he pinned you down?
Or like I've been out obviously on my own, and people have been like, did your boyfriend do this to you? And you're like, no, I got my partner to do it to me. Anything he wants, I will do.
Where was the most painful place for you?
There are a few, and as I've got older, like when I was younger, I swear it didn't hurt as much, but as I've got older, I'm like, now you can stop.
Everything
now.
hurts more when you're older.
Just please stop this.
Yeah.
Can you just? Is there some Valium in the room? Most painful, toes.
Ooh.
Inside of my hands was pretty rank, and that's been done twice. Ribs isn't great.
How's your bum? Here we go.
Bum was a weird sensation because I've got a tickly spot on my bum.
Have you?
Yeah. So there's a part of it that was like, na, and I was like, ooh, na. So it was one of those. I actually hate stomach. So like the hip and like that makes me feel a bit sicky.
Really?
And back of the knee.
I thought the inside of my arm was the worst in that bit.
Oh, yeah,
because I was scared because I thought my veins were going to pop open, and that was partly what part of the trauma was like, I'm going to bleed to death. And also my bottom half of my legs. Because I mean, you've got just nice skin on there, whereas mine are very hairy right now. But the skin on the bottom of my legs is just quite dry and coarse. Just generally, it's like my mum's are like it, my sister's legs are like it. It's quite thick skin. But when it's tattooed, it's like it feels like all these little. It feels like my legs are made out of loads and loads of pieces of string, and when the needle goes through, it's like they're all snapping.
Yeah, I get what you
that
mean.
kind of like that stretch, almost like
you can feel every bit that drags through.
Yeah, because it feels like my skin is so tight and taut and dry that it is like. I tell you what, the bottom half of my leg is more painful getting waxed than my fanny. My stepsister was like, "Come on, Helen, you can handle this," because she waxes me. You've been tattooed. I'm like, it's not the fucking same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Weirdly enough, nunny isn't that painful.
What for you?
Tattoo.
Oh, you're nunny. Oh yeah, you've got crew, haven't you?
Yeah.
Motley crew. And they're like, come on, Melon, get yours done. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
That was the funniest day ever when you and Jordan come back and you were like, look what we did. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
The thing I would say is fuck anyone who, you know, if you want to get tattooed, you know, at the end of the day, it's down to you. And I genuinely, and I know this is gonna sound a bit, but the more of the tattoos, the more tattooed I got, the more I felt like this is me. And I wouldn't change any of them.
No.
At all.
Growing up, even as a kid, I knew
I
was going to be like this.
I told my mum, I think when I was 12 or 13, I'm going to be a tattooist. I'm obviously not. I work for the museum service. so far from it. But I did. I think you do. I think you do. You know that's how you kind of want to look. And I guess it's the same as when people, not quite the same obviously, but when people dye their hair or anything like that, it's you, isn't it?
I also feel like friends can be, or partners can be, you know, they can give you advice on things, but I wouldn't.
At the end of the day,
like, it's yours. I remember when I said that I was thinking of getting a back piece, and it was almost like, what? And I'm like, what? Oh no. And it was like, right, let's just get one thing fucking ironed out right now. No one tells me what I can and can't do.
Do you know what, that's kind of the only regret I had was letting people tell me what I was going to do with my body. Oh no, don't pull sad face. No, just, you know, ex-partners didn't like, maybe, even though they met me and I was heavily tattooed, they didn't like me getting any more.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I never understood that, and it's only being in the relationship where...
I like it, but don't get any more.
That's it. And it's like, okay, and you're young, aren't you? And you're like, oh, but you still want them, and then you fear the wrath.
You feel they won't fancy you anymore.
Yeah, I got told
stupid.
that, like, you know, you don't want too many because you won't be girly anymore, you won't be feminine anymore. Or,
what does that even fucking mean?
I once said, I don't want to go moany again, but I once had someone say, you are so beautiful. And I was like,
thank you.
Oh, I needed that today. I just needed that. And they go, but you ruined yourself with those tattoos. And you're like, ugh,
that is
almost
so
a compliment.
Mean. That is so mean.
I'd maybe think twice about getting a facial tattoo when you're not tattooed anywhere else, but that's pretty much the only advice I really have.
Another thing that I would like to actually add to our conversation, which I find really nice and refreshing, is I feel like the stereotypes of tattoo artists and studios are finally being broken, because I felt for a long time, even I felt intimidated going into studios and being tattooed by people because of this whole like, I'm a fucking tattoo artist and I'm really fucking cool and I'm gonna be really arrogant and a dickhead.
Yeah.
But I feel like the world is opening up, and there's so many nice people out there, and I feel like thanks to Instagram, you can really, like, you can find people.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
And I feel like it's becoming such a friendlier world, because I know that that's a problem that people have. They're scared and intimidated about going in. So actually, no, like, it's becoming so much more friendlier and open, and so many more people are getting into it and becoming artists as well. But this whole stigma and this whole kind of what you expect, which for you know, to be honest, it was like that for a while. No longer.
Well, you got to think, like, we were talking about stereotypes, but, you know, that goes for tattoo artists, but it also goes for, people think that I'm like this scary bitch, and I'm soft as shit.
No, what, when you're fucking hungry? Oh my God, please move me to Mars when Nicoletta's hungry. I'm currently booking in with something, hopefully. I'm really hoping that she's not too busy to do it, but my next tattoo is with an artist, I'm hoping, called Amy Bray.
Ooh.
And she's done a few of my artworks over there.
I was just looking around at those. I've not looked at the camera maybe once, and I'm like, ooh.
And I'm gonna get like I'm getting Alien, like from the movies.
Amazing.
But done really cute. Have you got anything planned, or are you not really bothered at the moment?
No, I have. I've got so many. Do you know, you were saying about Alien, but like, I've got a few film reference, like, ones that I want, and I keep going back, I'm like, should I put this on my body, you know, is this, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Do you think it's stopped you having certain opportunities? Do you think it's hindered you?
I think maybe years ago it could have. Luckily I worked in industries that it didn't matter. But I think now, in this day and age, like, I covered up. So when I went for my job at the moment, I covered up as much as I can. Obviously they were on my hands and stuff, just to kind of show respect. And they don't care. No. They don't care. I mean, you get the odd slightly. And actually, it doesn't matter what generation it is. It can be, you know, older or maybe middle-aged. And sometimes you get the odd young one, and they look at you like, should you be in here? Are you robbing this museum? But no.
No, the great museum. Bad. I've had brands not want to work with me.
Really? What, because you're tattooed?
I've heard that I haven't been suitable enough because of, look, I'm too tattooed.
Oh my God.
And I remember once being asked to not have have so many on show.
I've had to do that. I once got offered a job, and I could have the job. And this is many, many years ago, if I wore gloves.
Great. What job was it?
Receptionist.
Hello. It's not, I swear I'm not cold.
I was just like, I'm gonna like go to pick up a phone and yeah. But it's getting better.
It's definitely getting better, for sure. I really don't know why there's so much prejudice still. It really doesn't affect the person on the inside.
To be honest with you, I think there are more, I mean, I'm not saying heavily tattooed, there are more people that are tattooed now than there are untattooed.
I feel like that whole mindset of it doesn't look professional, or you know, it's up to a company who they decide to front their face of them. But if anything, I feel like
it shows that
it shows that they're open-minded and they're not prejudiced.
There we go.
So I feel like in a way it's actually more professional for them to be inclusive. Like if I was going to a swanky place or a business thingy and I saw this dude in a suit and he would look, you know, I'd be like, he looks fucking fit. No, aside from me being a pervert, I'd be like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I am grateful for this.
Do you want to know my only pet peeve? And I've had men say it to me, I fancy you, I like girls with tattoos. Or when you see someone, they go, yeah, so I go for guys, or I go for girls with tattoos, and I'm like,
yeah, I've had guys tell me I'm hot because I've got tattoos, and I'm like,
struggle with that, because I'm like, I might have the shittest personality.
Yeah.
I might be a right dickhead. You're gonna go for me, or you know, or whoever, because they look like. Yeah. I understand it's you know, aesthetically pleasing, I guess, but I can't get my head around someone wanting or fancying me just because.
Yeah. For something that you weren't even born with.
That I struggle. I really struggle with that. And tattoos don't mean a certain personality.
No. I
So like we were saying, I'm not cool.
No.
I'm all about my dogs and my bed and eating food and snuggling Adam. But people presume that I'm like this kind of rock and roll like character. But I can't understand when people.
I get that. I totally get it because I've had it and I've like been like, well, don't you like me for me?
Yeah.
Like I totally get it.
I've been told it as well. I've been told, oh, they've only gone for you because you're tattooed, or you've only gone for them because they're tattooed.
But then it makes you feel like you're not attractive.
Yeah.
It's just the
they only like this.
Yeah.
They don't like this or this.
Nobody.
I didn't mean to be.
Right. Yeah. Right. So anyway, thank you so much, Nicoletta, for stopping by, having a chat. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Boobs, say bye.